Chosen one. First check the video, then check your bank. Listen, something remarkable is moving through the atmosphere around you. This isn't just another ordinary moment, and this is no routine day. This is a spiritually calculated alignment guided by the hand of God. There's a quiet shift taking place behind the veil, and your spirit can feel it before your mind understands it. You might not be able to fully explain it to anyone around you, but something in your bones is telling you, pay attention. Something is happening, something directly tied to you, your name, your account, and the journey you've walked with unwavering faith. God is not only orchestrating events in your favor, He is timing everything perfectly to the second, to the decimal, to the divine. Before you do anything else today, watch this video. Not later, not when you feel like it, not when you're ready. Watch it now, because what's unfolding in the background of your life is already in motion. After you've taken in this message completely, check your bank, check it with expectation, not for just a balance shift, but for confirmation that the spiritual deposit has been made. If you feel something inside of you stirring, pulling you closer, that is not random. That is the call, that is the code, that is your sign. Watch this video until the very end and write your warmest wishes in the comments and write Amen along with the number 777. This is your way of energizing the universe with your agreement, declaring that you are ready, that you believe, and that you are already aligned with the flow that's coming straight from the heavens. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. You've felt the invisible buildup. You've sensed the divine pressure mounting as if something enormous is about to be born in your reality. You've been asking quietly when you've been whispering to yourself, God, I trust you, but I need to see something soon. The spiritual tension wasn't for nothing. It was the friction required to ignite the blessing, and now the blessing is active. It's not in a meeting, it's not in a future plan, it's not in somebody's hand who might delay it. It's already moving. The code has been unlocked. The direction has been given. The flow has been initiated. And the first place it will show up is in a space that seemed too quiet, too still, too stuck. That's the irony of the divine. What looked like a pause was actually a setup. God hid this part from everyone around you. No one saw how hard it got. No one heard the inner cries. No one witnessed the warfare you battled in silence. But heaven did. And not only did God see it, He recorded it. He documented it in detail. And heaven responded with a decree. It's time. That decree is what caused the transfer to begin. That's what made this day different from the others. The accumulation of your past obedience is now becoming visible value. The unseen hours of perseverance are now forming into a divine transaction that has already been wired into your reality. When you woke up today, everything may have looked the same. The sun rose like it always does. The sky held its silence. But the frequency of this day isn't normal. This moment is encoded with the fingerprint of God. Something supernatural is now accessible, and your account is the landing place. You're not just witnessing a moment. You're in it. You're the reason for it. You are the center of this move. God is using this exact time to prove a point to the doubters, to expose the truth to those who tried to overlook your potential, and to reward you for not abandoning your path even when it looked unfruitful. You're being asked to trust this process deeply, not because of blind belief, but because you've already seen what happens when you do. Each time you leaned on God when you had nothing left, a record was written in the unseen. Each time you praised through pain, another line was added to your divine account. These records are not forgotten. They are spiritual equity. And today that equity is being released in a form that no one can question. It's coming through numbers. It's coming through deposits. It's coming through confirmations that can't be denied or debated. It's important to understand that this isn't about the money itself. It's about the message behind it. God is using the language of finance to speak a word of affirmation into your spirit. He is saying, I saw you. I heard you. I haven't forgotten. This is His way of speaking your love language in a moment that matters. The numbers will reflect the favor. The figures will carry the prophecy. The bank will simply be the stage where heaven shows its proof. This is also a shift in responsibility. You are no longer the one praying for breadcrumbs. You're being called to manage overflow. The stream is not sporadic anymore. It's consistent. The drought has ended, not temporarily but permanently. What once trickled now floods. The source has changed. The struggle is outdated. The narrative has flipped. You are no longer the underdog waiting for a turn. You are the selected one walking in alignment with divine timing. And when God's timing opens a door, no power, earthly or spiritual, can shut it. God wants you to notice the signs without hesitation. There are no coincidences around you anymore. Everything is becoming symbolic. The numbers you see, the time you wake up, the messages you hear, they are all lining up like a divine code being revealed in stages. If you've been seeing repeating patterns, strange alignments, or feeling a spiritual electricity in your body, You're not imagining it. These are confirmations that your atmosphere has changed, and your spiritual elevation is manifesting physically. You don't need to make any announcements. You don't need to alert anyone. The shift will speak for itself. People will feel it when you walk into a room. They'll sense that something rare and holy surrounds you. You'll notice the difference in how strangers treat you, how opportunities suddenly show up, and how your peace begins to grow like a garden blooming after rain. That peace is proof. It's the echo of heaven telling you it's safe now. You've crossed the line. The struggle is behind you. The divine deposit that is being released is not just wealth. It is alignment. It is clarity. It is restoration. It is all the things you thought were lost, returning in a better form. What was delayed is no longer behind time. It's in sync now. It's precisely on schedule. And even though you waited longer than you wanted, you are not late. You are right on divine time. Everything you didn't understand before is about to make sense. The no's are about to reveal their deeper purpose. The closed doors are about to show you what they were hiding, and the silence you endured is about to give birth to a sound you've never heard before, one that confirms your destiny. There is something sacred happening in your name. Your name is being whispered in rooms where decisions are being made. Your name is being highlighted in the records of heaven, and now it's being engraved on the surface of blessings that have been released. Your name is no longer just a name, it's a signal, a spiritual tag attached to everything that is meant for you. No one can intercept what has your name on it. No one can edit the signature of God. You've entered a realm of immediate manifestation. The wait time has collapsed. The window has opened. The gate has unlocked. The instructions are simple. First, check the video. Let it stir your spirit. Let it confirm your knowing. Then, check your bank. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. Check it with the same boldness you used when you praised God in your lowest season. The numbers may shock you. The confirmation may come faster than you expected. But one thing is certain, it will come. This is your moment to witness divine proof in motion. You don't need to fight for it. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to beg. You only need to receive. Everything else has already been handled, and every detail has already been approved. God said it, and that's the final authority. What was declared in the Spirit is now visible in your reality. Watch, receive, then walk forward. You're not dreaming. This is real, and it's yours. The air around you has changed, and you can feel it. Not in the way the world feels a change in temperature, but in a way only the chosen one understands. The shift is spiritual, atmospheric, encoded into the unseen realm before it ever touches the material. You've walked through seasons where you had to carry the silence of your faith, where your prayers were answered only with more patience. But today feels different, not because someone told you, but because God is breathing on this moment. There is an invisible hand guiding this day, and it has your miracle written all over it. When the day began, it might have looked like nothing was happening. Maybe the notifications were silent. Maybe the emails were empty. But in the kingdom realm, where time bends to the voice of God, something had already been activated long before you opened your eyes. The divine current began flowing, and its first touch was your name. It's not just a shift in the spirit. It's a notification from heaven to your earthly accounts. You're being targeted for favor, and this favor isn't subtle. It's not tucked in a whisper. It's loud. It's public. It's undeniable. Your bank is about to testify for you. Everything you've endured is about to show up in a form you can see. No more just holding on in the dark. No more invisible victories. No more silent belief that goes unnoticed. God is bringing a tangible sign, and He's doing it in the exact space where you once experienced lack. This isn't about random blessings. This is a targeted reversal. It's a holy reversal in the exact area that hurt you the most. The area you cried over, the area you questioned, the area that made you feel forgotten. That is the very place where the abundance is about to flood. You're not being paid for labor alone. You're being honored for obedience. There is a divine difference. Labor may reward with money, but obedience brings a reward that multiplies and lingers across generations. God remembers when you kept going. He remembers when you chose Him, even when the cost was heavy. And now He's choosing you in public view. The first notification might feel surreal. The numbers may look unreal, but that's how God operates when He wants to prove a point. When He moves big. There's been a holy watching. While others were scrolling past your life, God was reading every detail. The time you gave your last and still had the faith to call it seed. The days you worshipped with nothing in your hand but trust. The nights when everyone else was asleep, but you were speaking into your future through whispered affirmations and tear-filled declarations. Nothing was wasted. Not 1 second, not one prayer, not one God I trust you. All of it accumulated, all of it written down. And today, some of those entries are being turned into heavenly receipts. There is no middleman in this transfer. God Himself signed off on it. You won't owe anyone credit. You won't have to explain your favor. You won't need to justify the blessing. This wasn't decided by a committee. It wasn't approved by human logic. It was born in the mind of God, and now it's appearing in your space. You are not borrowing it. You are not sharing it. It's yours entirely. Your faith authored this moment, and now your reality is catching up to the truth heaven already announced. The old cycle is broken. You are no longer living in the land of just enough. You are crossing into more than enough, not as a visitor, but as a permanent resident. The air smells different there. It's filled with divine ease, financial rest, and spiritual authority. In this space, you don't have to hustle to prove your worth. You don't need to beg for favor. You simply walk in it because it was already promised. It was already spoken over you before you were even born. This moment isn't a new creation. It's a remembered prophecy finally catching up to its time. People may look at the shift and assume it came suddenly, but they don't know your nights. They don't know how many seasons you walked through quietly. They don't know how many fake smiles you wore. They don't know how you clung to your promises while everything around you screamed, "Give up." They don't know how you gave, sowed, prayed, and fasted without anyone noticing. But God did, and this is his answer. This is heaven's reply. Your bank isn't just receiving money. It's receiving a message from the throne room. This is wealth that carries a weight. This is divine money with a mission. It's not just currency. It's confirmation. You are the chosen steward of this financial flood, not to impress others, not to flex, but to carry proof of what happens when someone aligns with the divine calendar. You didn't chase this. You were selected for it. And when God selects you, no one can veto the decision. No amount of delay, sabotage, or slander can erase what has been decreed for you. And now God is telling you to pay close attention, not to people, not to voices, but to the patterns. The patterns around you are changing. The doors opening now are not doors you knocked on. They're doors that were waiting for you to arrive. They respond to your presence because they were built with you in mind. Your spirit carries the code that unlocks what others couldn't access. This is what being chosen really means. You're not walking in favor by chance. You're walking in favor by design. And that design has reached its activation date. This is the part of your story where the impossible becomes undeniable, where delay turns into delivery, where the invisible becomes visible. And it's not coming. It's here. It's not on the way. It already landed. The only thing left is for you to recognize it, receive it, and rejoice over it. God did it. God signed it. God sent it. And your account is the first witness. You didn't imagine this moment. You didn't fantasize this breakthrough. You didn't hallucinate this sense of spiritual urgency that's been echoing in your chest. What you've been feeling is real. It's not hype. It's not illusion. It's divine alignment in motion. God has been moving silently behind the curtain, building something enormous in the dark. And now he's pulling the curtain back, not with drama, not with noise, but with undeniable evidence, the kind of evidence no one can debate because the proof will be on display. And you, chosen one, are the center of this display. The season of explaining yourself is over. The season of defending your hope is behind you. You no longer need to use words to convince anyone of what God is doing in your life. The fruit will speak for itself. The overflow will be the announcement. The balance sheet will be the testimony. You're not just being rewarded, you're being revealed. Your value is being shown, not in theory, not in promise, in hard manifested fact. It's happening exactly as God intended, on a day when no one was expecting it, through a route no one saw coming. There are movements in the atmosphere right now that are rearranging spiritual protocols on your behalf. What was once being blocked is now being ushered forward. What was once stuck is now flowing freely. The banks of heaven have opened, and the flow is fierce. And what's even more astounding is that your name is embedded into the transfer. You didn't apply for this. You didn't beg for this. You simply obeyed the spiritual nudges, and God marked your account for divine release. This money isn't like the others. It carries intention. It comes with assignment. It knows who it belongs to, and it knows what it came to do. This is the kind of transfer that shifts not only your current conditions, but also your entire legacy. The zeros attached to this move are prophetic. They are not just for comfort. They are for position. They are to place you where your impact can expand beyond your imagination. You're not receiving it to sit still. You're receiving it because you have already been moving, already been faithful, already been proving that you would honor the wait. There are places God is sending you that require funding, conversations he wants to spark through your rise, influence. He wants you to carry not for status but for kingdom demonstration. And this is the beginning. This is where it starts, not with fanfare, not with explosions, but with a gentle surge in your life that changes everything. A number, a ping, a message from your bank that doesn't just update your balance, but awakens your destiny. You'll know it's divine because the timing will feel surreal. You'll look at your phone, your bank app, your notification feed, and you'll feel your breath catch. The figures will look like a dream, and yet they will feel deeply familiar, like something your spirit already saw a long time ago. That's because it did. You saw this in your prayers. You saw it when no one else believed. You carried the vision of this moment through storms and silence. And now God is saying, "See, I told you." There will be a strange calm that follows, a holy stillness, as if your spirit exhales after years of holding its breath, you'll realize that the war you fought wasn't about lack, it was about identity. And now that your identity is aligned with your divine assignment, the lack can no longer remain. God is not simply giving you more, He's removing the limits that once kept more from reaching you. He's tearing down invisible fences, He's erasing spiritual barriers. And now the access is yours. You're no longer outside the gate, you are inside, seated, positioned. The spotlight is not for performance, it's for testimony. You are living proof that obedience moves mountains, that silence doesn't mean absence, that trust isn't weakness, it's strategy. And now God is flipping every script that was written against you, the ones that said you were too late, the ones that said you were too much, the ones that said you missed it. Every lie is crumbling, and the truth is being broadcast through this blessing. Your presence is now prophetic. When you walk into a room, you won't have to say anything. The aura of fulfillment around you will say it all. You'll feel it in how people look at you. You'll notice it in how circumstances yield to you. That's not arrogance. That's divine authority rising to the surface. And it's not there because of your efforts. It's there because God placed it there. When He chooses someone, He marks them. And when He marks them, all of creation begins to respond in alignment. This is where things move fast. Momentum is not a suggestion. It's a divine law. When favor starts flowing, it doesn't trickle. It cascades. Expect it. Watch it. Witness the domino effect. One blessing will open the next. One deposit will lead to another. One miracle will carry the code to unlock the next. That's how God builds testimony. Not one blessing in isolation, but a chain reaction of holy overflow. And through it all, your spirit will remain anchored, not in fear, not in pride, but in awe, because you'll know that this was never about what you did. It was about who you are. God chose you before the beginning. He orchestrated this season before you had a name, and now the orchestration is playing out like a divine symphony.